Every time I started a new product, I did the exact same thing. Wire up authentication, again, plug in Stripe again, build an admin, an onboarding flow, real-time notifications, a JSON API, again. 60 hours of plumbing before writing a single line of the things I actually cared about. So I got tired of paying that tax and I built LaunchKit, a production-ready codebase where auth, billing, admin, and AI are already done, already tested. You download it and you ship your app this weekend, not next quarter. But I didn't stop there. I pushed it further. The setup is completely no code, a first run wizard, zero terminal gymnastics, and the codebase itself is completely accessible. No magic, no domain-specific languages to learn, just clean, idiomatic Rails you can read on day one and own forever. LaunchKit isn't a shortcut that boxes you in, it's the foundation I always wish someone had handed me. Let me show you. Let's set up LaunchKit in less than 10 minutes for our next project called Invoice Snap so we can start coding our first feature. Firstly, we call BNew to rebrand our name. We call our app Invoice Snap and it rebrands it in various files for you so you don't have to do it manually. Then we run bin setup, which set various configs and run the Rails server. At this point, we can access the admin dashboard through localhost 3000/admin. Once on the admin, the first thing to do is to complete the admin setup. Here we set up the admin access. Next, we are setting up our Stripe informations for the development environment. We are using Stripe sandboxes behind the scenes. If you click on the Get Your Stripe API Keys link, that will directly bring you to the right place in Stripe. The setup wizard is only available in local. It allows you to update your credentials from all of your environments, whether development or productions by default. As it modifies directly your credentials files, it requires to rerun the server to take your latest changes in considerations. Now let's run a Stripe listener through the CLI toolkit provided by Stripe so we can get our webhook key. Now we restart our server so it takes our webhook secrets in consideration, and then we are going to test our Stripe connection. And here we go, we can see that Stripe has been set up correctly. If you are not familiar with the Stripe CLI toolkit, there is a complete section in the README so you can learn about it and how to install this toolkit. Next, let's configure our Google sign-in button. By the way, LaunchKit ships with 9 other strategies such as GitHub, Facebook, Twitter, etc. You just have to provide keys and it works. Also, our Learning Center provides a complete guide on how to set up your Google app and your OAuth ID so you can get your keys. And finally, if your product is AI first, you can provide an API key from your favorite LLM provider. We then restart our server and check if our API key is well configured and we can connect with our OpenAI provider. Next, let's configure the website appearance. Firstly, we are choosing our landing template among a variety of available templates. We then select our site theme and our onboarding design. As you can see, we have a large variety of onboarding designs. Click on Save and go to preview localhost 3000 to preview your landing page. Now it's time to configure our pricing table. To do so, we get back on the admin dashboard on the pricing section. By default, LaunchKit ships with 3 examples of plan, but for the purpose of this video, we only need one. You enter a monthly amount, you click on Apply, and both your monthly and yearly amounts are created on Stripe and synced in your DB. You can create subscriptions, one-time payments, or free plans. Finally, let's describe the content of our plan. As you can see, we can provide a title, a subtitles, and a list of features that are automatically rendered live on your admin dashboard so you can see if it renders well. Finally, you can set a yearly discount. Put it at 0% if you don't want to apply it. Also, you can decide if you want to propose yearly or monthly prices first. Then, on the landing page, you can switch from monthly to yearly pricing using the toggle button. Okay, now that Stripe has been configured in development, let's initiate the checkout session. Firstly, we fill in the mandatory informations with the test cards provided by Stripe, and then we finalize the checkout session. Now, as a final user who just purchased InvoiceSnap, I must set up my password or use social sign-in that we pre-configured in our admin dashboard before completing the onboarding steps. Now we complete the default onboarding steps. As you will see later, the onboarding steps are completely customizable from the admin dashboard. The onboarding completed, I'm redirected to the InvoiceSnap dashboard. LaunchKit provides a complete billing sections for your final users. Indeed, they will be able to update their cards, get their invoices through the Stripe billing portals. They can also cancel their subscription or they can resume their current subscription. Also, LaunchKit ships with a minimal support system that you can enrich depending on your needs. Once a user sends a message, you can see it in your admin dashboard, see the detail of the message and mark it as read. The post-payment onboarding steps are completely customizable. You can choose among the pre-built steps or you can create your own. In the onboarding step creation form, we list all your models and we mark as green all the models associated to your user table. So then you can select the inputs of your step and it will work by default. The LaunchKit promise is for you to start coding from your first feature. Everything before is taken care of. So now let's create our first feature. Here we generate a feature that we call invoice. Now let's get back to the InvoiceSnap user dashboard, and as you can see on the sidebar, a new entry has been added, which is our invoice feature. And this feature is feature flippable, so meaning we can enable or disable this feature. Now, if we get back to the user dashboard, you can see that the invoice tab has been removed. You can configure your primary AI provider and model, as well as the backup if the primary provider is momentarily unavailable. LaunchKit provides a cool AI integration using AI templates. AI templates allow you to manage your prompts. Indeed, you will be able to name your template and manage your system and user prompts as well as the final user inputs. LaunchKit proposes default prompts depending on the category you select. Here is the system prompt. It's optional, but I strongly advise you to always provide one. Then the user prompt that contains the user inputs between curly braces. Let's try to add a variable. Here we add a word variable that is automatically detected by our system. As you can see, then you can manage the user input. Once our template is ready, we can try it directly from the admin dashboard. That allows to not push something that is not tested before. And here we go, you can see the prompt result. Then you can use the AI widget view helper to seamlessly integrate your AI template. Now let's generate a blog post about flowers in Normandy, shout out to friends, with a friendly tone. And here we go, the blog post is generated on the fly. Now let's have a look to the LaunchKit Learning Center. Every step I showcased during this demo can be done programmatically through plain old Ruby objects. The LaunchKit repo contains an agents.md that instructs your favorite LLM to go to read the entire learning center. Hope you appreciated the demo. Thank you for watching it.